Welcome to Genesis chapter 3. In the previous chapter, God created the first man and woman and placed them in the beautiful Garden of Eden. They were free to enjoy every tree except one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God warned that eating from it would bring death. The serpent's temptation. One day, the serpent approached Eve and questioned God's command. He suggested that God was keeping something good from them and claimed that eating the fruit would open their eyes and make them like God, knowing good and evil. Eve looked at the fruit. It appeared beautiful, desirable, and wise. Trusting the serpent instead of God, she took the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he also ate. Their eyes were opened. Immediately, they realized they were naked. Shame entered their hearts for the first time. They sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. When they heard God walking in the garden, they hid among the trees because they were afraid. God calls Adam. God called, "Where are you?" Adam answered that he was afraid because he was naked, so he hid. God asked who had told him he was naked and whether he had eaten from the forbidden tree. Adam blamed Eve, saying she gave him the fruit. Eve then blamed the serpent. God's judgment. God first spoke to the serpent, declaring that it would crawl on its belly and that there would be ongoing conflict between the serpent and humanity. God also promised that one day the offspring of the woman would ultimately defeat the serpent. God then spoke to Eve, saying that childbirth would become painful and that relationships would now include struggle. Finally, God spoke to Adam. Because he listened to the voice of his wife instead of obeying God, the ground was cursed. From then on, food would come only through hard work and sweat. Thorns and thistles would grow, and one day, Adam would return to the dust from which he had been formed. God's mercy. Even after their disobedience, God showed mercy. He made garments from animal skins to clothe Adam and Eve, providing better covering than the leaves they had made themselves. Leaving the garden, God declared that humanity must not eat from the tree of life in their fallen condition. Adam and Eve were sent out of the Garden of Eden to work the ground. Cherubim and a flaming sword were placed at the entrance to guard the way to the tree of life. Conclusion. Genesis chapter 3 explains how sin entered the human story. It reveals both the seriousness of disobedience and the mercy of God. Even in judgment, God gave hope by promising that evil would not have the final victory. Thank you for watching. May God bless you, strengthen your faith, and guide you through His Word. Amen.